So we had recently seen the entry of Hisense into Indian market with the launch of their A71 series, which performed extremely well. And now Hisense is launching their new A73 series 4K smart TVs with some important upgrades, and we are going to check out their 55-inch 55A73F, which offers even better hardware and software features, support for multiple HDR formats, along with an integrated JBL speaker system that really exceeded my expectations. All of this comes at a price point of 44,990 rupees, so we are going to take a detailed look at it and see if it is actually as good as it appears to be. Hey guys, I am Siddharth and let's get started. Inside the box, you are getting everything to get started. The wall mount is included, and you of course get the manual, warranty details and the remote with batteries. Even though this new TV has a very similar design to their A71 series when you look at it from the sides, which are decently slim, from the front, the TV looks quite premium as the fabric bar at bottom adds a lot of character to an otherwise simple design. The Dolby logo on this bar lights up with a nice ring, and even though this may look like a button that you can press, the power button is actually at the center of the bottom of this TV, which also lets you select different input sources. Other than that, you have slim bezels on its 55-inch display, which are always nice to have, and even though the stand is made of plastic, its matte silver finish does look nice and adds to the overall look of the TV. On the side, we have an optical out port for audio along with Ethernet port for wired internet, a 3.5mm audio out jack, then we have two USB 2.0 ports, and finally we get to the three HDMI 2.0 ports, one of which supports HDMI ARC, followed by an antenna port for cable connection. The 4K resolution is a very good match for a screen size of 55 inches, and I find this size to be just the right fit for people with regular sized rooms who want to get a theatre-like experience without getting something that is too big. You also need a big TV like this to really get the full advantage of 4K content without needing to get close to the TV or pay attention to the details. We have a very good display quality on the VA panel that Hisense has on this TV. The colors look really great, and because the TV also features a color calibrated profile, you get very accurate colors without the oversaturation that you generally have on TVs by default. After shifting the color temperature to slightly cooler than default, I get a really perfect viewing experience, and you can of course change other settings like contrast and even the saturation level of individual colors. Hisense claims a contrast ratio of 5000 to 1 on this panel, and the contrast ratio of the TV does look really good, which is not surprising for a VA panel, and the viewing angles on it are also great, and from all practically watchable angles, you shouldn't see a shift in colors or contrast. The backlight uniformity of the panel with pure white color is very good. The black uniformity is even better, but on pure grey backgrounds, you may see some unevenness, but while watching video content, this is completely unnoticeable and it looks really good. If you get really close to the panel, you also see a visible gap between the backlight and the display of the panel, but this is also completely unnoticeable when you are not inches away from the panel trying to look at the corners. Hisense has also added MEMC this time, which stands for Motion Enhancement and Motion Compensation, and what it basically does is that it makes all the content look very smooth. It makes 24 and 30 FPS videos look like they are running at 60 FPS, and this is something that people really like for watching sports content. MEMC works really well on this TV because I was watching some movie trailers on it and it almost looked like they were at 60 FPS, which confused me, but then I realized that MEMC is turned on this TV by default. I got a lot of questions about MEMC in my previous Hisense video, so it is great that they have added it. I also tried to see if I could see any artifacts because of the additional frames that are inserted, and 99% of the times you are not going to notice any artifacts because of having MEMC turned on. And overall, this technology works almost perfectly, and you can also fine-tune the MEMC settings to select how strong the blur and jitter reduction processing is. So people who like the smooth look of 60 FPS content are really going to enjoy this feature. We have most of the HDR formats supported on the TV, which includes HDR10+, HLG and Dolby Vision, which is really great, and HDR content does look pretty good on it. This again isn't an OLED TV and also doesn't have any local dimming on the panel, so you're not going to get the same experience as the super expensive 2 lakh rupees TVs. But Hisense uses customized contrast curves to enhance the HDR experience, and the native contrast ratio of this TV is also very high, so you do get a good result and colors while watching HDR videos. They also have an UHD AI upscaler to upscale Full HD content, so HD channels on cable TV should also look nice, but I couldn't test that as I don't have a cable TV connection. This TV also works well with a PC, and it supports a 4K 60fps signal in RGB mode, so you can use this as a monitor if you want to, especially with the color calibrated profile. But one extremely amazing feature that I have seen in Hisense TVs is their game mode, which offers very low latency for gaming. I tested it with a duplicated display with my 4K monitor, and I didn't feel any input lag on the TV, and if you freeze the frames here, you can see that the TV actually has slightly lower input lag than my LG 4K monitor. I really can't overstate how important this is for gamers. So if you want to have a big display for gaming with a PC, or especially with a PlayStation or Xbox, this is really going to be an amazing choice. The new PS5 and Xbox Series X support 4K gaming, so this TV is really going to pair well with those. Now a big highlight feature of the A73 series is integration of JBL Tornado sound. It is a 6-speaker system with 2 dedicated tweeters for handling high frequency range along with 4 full range speakers. And while you can feel that it has down-firing speakers at its bottom, it also has front-firing speakers, and that really makes a big difference in the quality of sound that you get. I am not a person who sees a JBL logo on a product and instantly assumes that the sound is going to be amazing, but on this TV, the sound is actually really great. It's not just the wattage or volume that delivers the sound quality in a speaker system, but it is the quality of the drivers that you have in it, and the 55A73F has good quality drivers for an inbuilt speaker system, which really provides sound quality that is even better than entry-level soundbars. Even many of the 6,000 to 8,000 rupees soundbars come with only 2 drivers without dedicated tweeters, so you are getting very good hardware here. The dialogues sound clear, and it also sounds really great while watching movies because you do hear separation between the dialogues and the music. It sounds like it is coming from bigger speakers, and you also get a good stereo image because of the distance that these speakers are at. These speakers also output surprisingly good levels of bass, even if it is not going to match a dedicated subwoofer, and it of course gets very loud too. It seems like it changes the sound profile when you increase the volume to very high levels to prevent any distortion of the sound. So at full volume, you do hear greater emphasis on the mid and high range frequencies, but on reasonable listening levels, it does sound quite balanced. Other than that, the TV also has very good control over the sound quality with a good equalizer and different sound profiles, and Dolby Atmos should also enhance the quality even on these inbuilt speakers. Now let's have a sound test so you can have a listen to what I am talking about. The remote that comes with Hisense TVs are really good because unlike the minimalist approach by some other brands here, this remote has many buttons that are actually useful, so you won't get frustrated trying to do everything with 3 or 4 buttons, and the bigger size also fits in the hands better. Not only do we have dedicated buttons for Netflix and Amazon Prime, but we also have them for Hotstar and YouTube, and we also have a dedicated button for switching inputs, which is extremely useful. In addition to the mute button, the remote also has a button to turn off the backlight, which is another very useful addition because you can turn off the display while listening to music or watching podcasts on YouTube. Sending the TV to sleep state also requires only a single button press, which is also nice because it will wake up instantly. The TV comes with Android TV 9.0 installed, which is always great to have. You have the familiar Android TV interface which works well, and you have access to all the apps and games in Google Play Store, and you can also sideload any app from a pen drive, and there are some additional features which you usually don't find in other Android TVs. You can access Google Assistant by pressing the dedicated button on the remote, and you can use it to do Google Assistant things like quick searches on the web or for finding content on different platforms, and the voice commands are easy to use as the remote has a mic. The TV also has Chromecast built in, so you can cast online content directly from your phone, and it also has a screen mirroring feature which lets you mirror your phone screen on the TV. In addition to Netflix, Amazon Prime and other streaming apps, you can also play content directly from pen drives with VLC player, install browsers to browse websites on TV, amongst other things that are typical for smart TVs. We have a dual band Wi-Fi on the TV, so you can connect it to your 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks, and having Bluetooth 5.0 means that you can use all your Bluetooth speakers, headphones, keyboards, mice and gamepads. Coming to the performance, the TV handles its UI well with its quad-core processor, so you don't face slowdowns while switching between apps. We have 2 GB of RAM on board, which is the higher range in this segment, and it also has 16 GB of internal storage, but the OS of course takes some of that. The Mali 470MP GPU will also allow you to play 2D games very well, and you can even play some graphic-intensive 3D games at lower settings. The TV really supports every codec that you would play on it, so VP9 4K 60fps HDR videos on YouTube will play smoothly, and it also plays H.265 HEVC codec, so you won't need any other external device like a Fire Stick or a TV box for anything. So with all of the features that I mentioned, the Hisense 55A73F comes at a price point of 44,990 rupees, and that is quite reasonable given the extra features and the sound system that we have integrated into this TV. But their older models from A71 series are also on sale, and they offer almost identical performance to this A73 series. The 55A71F comes at around 40,000 rupees price point, so you are paying extra for the MEMC feature and the special sound system, which I think is worth it. But if you already have a nice soundbar or speakers in your setup and you don't care about MEMC, then the A71 series could also be a great option that would save you some money. Hisense has been in India for some time now, and now they have more than 450 service centers, so buyers shouldn't face issues with getting this service during its 1 year of warranty period or after that. So I'll have links in the video description to both Amazon and Flipkart, so you can check the details and pricing. And in addition to Amazon and Flipkart, it will also be available to purchase from Reliance Digital and Tata Click stores, so you can buy from the store of your choice. And that was it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or a thumbs down if you disliked it. Subscribe with bell, follow me on socials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.